It was a very rainy March on Sodor. The winter had been very harsh, and the melted snow and heavy rain soaked the earth. The rivers were flowing very rapidly, and flooding was quite common, especially on the Farquhar branch. Thomas didn't mind the rain. It was only water, after all. However, he did not like mud. Of course, no engine does, but Thomas hated how it got everywhere and how filthy it was. Terence the tractor, on the other hand, was built for dealing with boggy situations. He loved mud.
Boy, it's fun! Of course you always need a bath afterwards, but so what?
Fun? It just feels awful and wet, and especially having a splendid blue coat, mud and I don't mix.
Well, I guess you're entitled to your opinion, but one thing we can both agree on is that this rain will bring lots of mud.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That evening, it rained very hard. It was so hard that the engines wondered if it was hail falling on the roof. This rain is horrendous. I hope it ceases soon.
Driver says tomorrow's supposed to be worse.
I'm sure we'll have some flash floods tomorrow.
What's a flash flood? Is that when there's lightning during a flood?
No, silly! Well, I mean, lightning can strike when it's flooding if it's a thunderstorm, but a flash flood is usually when it floods very quickly. You know, water fills up everything in a flash.
Ooh, that sounds scary.
It's only water, Percy. Not when it's rushing straight at you with more force than a fire hydrant. It could pick you right off the tracks. All right, I get your point. Now, I think I should get some sleep, if it's possible, with all this aggressive rain. It was difficult, but the engines soon managed to all drift to sleep. The next morning, the rain had stopped. The engines were pleased. Thomas made his way along the branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. Well, I don't mind rain, but I'll say thank God it stopped. Indeed. But Thomas was very wrong. As soon as he reached Dryaw, he felt a very large drip. Oh no! Suddenly, out of nowhere, the rain showered down so hard that Thomas felt as if he was in a washing machine. Good grief! Look at it! This is some of the heaviest rain I've experienced!
You can say that again! Come on, you all! Get inside quickly!
Thomas forced his way up the branch line with the rain pounding his face. Luckily, there was no wind to make things worse, but it was nearly impossible for Thomas to look straight ahead. At the stations, the passengers boarded in the quickest time Thomas had ever seen. The little blue engine was miserable, but there was worse to come. He rushed through the tunnel where he had gotten stuck in the snow and past the Kindley's house. Then, suddenly, look out! Thomas's driver slammed on the brakes, but Thomas ran straight into a thick, gooey mudslide.
Ugh! Botheration!
And right when the rain stops, too. Look! Well, I think that would be irrelevant, considering I'm going nowhere in any weather condition.
And gross! This is horrid. It's like being in a massive excrement.
I don't think excrement's quite a strong enough word to describe it. I'd say we're in deep...
Oh no, it's Terence!
Terence was surprised to see Thomas in such a muddle.
Hello, Thomas. I see you decided to play pig today, but I don't think wallowing in the mud suits you.
Shut up, Terence.
It's all right, lad. Didn't mean to cause you any trouble. Would you like me to pull you out?
I think that would be much easier than us spending all this time shoveling. Yes, please. So Terence, like he did almost 70 years ago, pulled Annie and Clarabelle away from Thomas, and then was hooked up behind the tank engine.
All right, here we go!
Terence tugged and slipped and slipped and tugged, and within moments Thomas was free of the mud. He was filthy and felt very silly.
Thank you, Terence. It's all right, lad. Now, that's two you owe me.
After the mud was cleared, Thomas went on his way to Farquhar. He was pretty late, but the passengers were understanding.
Looks like you've had a mud bath, Thomas. Well, at least we have matching coats now. Shut up, Toby. You don't even have any paint. You're naked.
Before Toby could respond, the engines heard a low rumbling noise that got louder and louder. It sounded like a rushing stream.
What's that?
Suddenly, the station master shouted,
Flash flood! Get to high ground!
Out of nowhere, a jet of water rocketed into the station and smashed into Thomas and Toby. They shuddered as the cold water rushed through their wheels.
Oh my goodness! This is really bad! I hope everyone's okay.
Fortunately, the flood didn't do much damage. It just made everywhere very wet. The current soon died down, and Thomas's crew thought they'd better get out of there. The line was a huge mess. Mud was everywhere, but Thomas didn't care this time. He was only focused on getting to a safer place. But he was stopped by a man waving. It was Farmer Finney, Terrence's driver.
Help! Help! Terrence has been swept away by the water! Oh no! We must help him! Quickly!
Thomas raced off. He didn't have to go very far. He was suddenly blocked by a big mudslide, similar to the one he got stuck in. Botheration! This is the last thing we need. But Thomas noticed something. Driver, I don't think we'll have to go any further.
Help!
Goodness me, it's Terrence!
Hang in there, buddy! I'm just going back to Farquhar to get a rope.
When Thomas returned, the driver dug out the back part of Terrence and then attached the rope to him.
All right, 1, 2, 3!
With all his strength, Thomas managed to pull Terrence free from the mud. Terrence was filthy and very miserable.
You all right, Terrence? Yes, just very bogged down, if you know what I mean.
I thought you liked the mud.
Well, yes, but not when I'm under 5 feet of it.
Oh, come on. Surely it isn't that bad, especially for a tractor like you.
Now you're just trying to wind my caterpillars, mate.
But regardless, I think that's one you now owe me.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for rescuing me, Thomas.
And next time, we should be both more careful with mud. Thomas could only agree.